All right, today we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and, frankly, one of the boldest corporate strategies I've ever seen. MicroStrategy's massive all-in bet on Bitcoin. We're going to unpack the bull case and get to know the incredibly passionate community that's formed around the company and its leader, Michael Saylor. You know, this one question from a supporter, it just perfectly captures the spirit of what we're looking at. For these folks, this isn't just an investment. It's a team. It's a cause. And it's all built on this almost unbreakable conviction. So what's really driving this? So first up, we've got to get inside the mindset. We're going to explore what it even means to be on Team Saylor and figure out why their belief in the strategy is just so deep. Yeah, this is not your casual stock picking, not even close. We're talking about a one-chair philosophy, which means you're all in. Supporters talk about putting in literally thousands of hours of research, listening to Michael Saylor every single day, and they truly believe that anyone who criticizes this whole strategy, well, they just haven't done the homework. You see, it's a community that's really built on that shared, deep conviction for long-term generational wealth. Okay, on to our second section, the all-in Bitcoin strategy. So how does all this conviction actually play out? Well, it's all centered on this one core idea. MicroStrategy, which, used to be just a software company, has completely reinvented itself into a machine for buying and holding Bitcoin. And this right here, this leads to the single biggest knock against the company. The bears, the skeptics, they always ask this exact question. The implication being, hey, if you're not really selling software anymore, what do you actually do? What do you produce? And this slide just perfectly lays out the two different worlds here. While the critics see nothing, absolutely no product, the supporters see the ultimate product. Their argument is that offering an 11% annual return on cash, which is backed by this gigantic and growing stash of Bitcoin, is maybe one of the best financial products on the planet. I mean, they believe that unlike a phone that goes out of date, a high-yield return on your money is something people will always want. So, beyond all the belief in the philosophy, supporters will tell you it all just comes down to simple math. In this next section, we're going to crunch the numbers that get them so incredibly excited about where this company is headed. So what is this MSTR math that has supporters so fired up? Well, it's all about a projection, a model that tries to map out the company's future value based on a few really key assumptions about Bitcoin. Okay, let's break this down, because this is a big one. The projection starts by assuming Bitcoin's price is at $90,000 and then grows at 30% a year, compounded for 5 years. It also assumes MicroStrategy hits its goal of accumulating 1 million Bitcoin. Now, if those things happen, the net asset value, the NAV, of just their Bitcoin would be a staggering $335 billion. And even with just a modest 10% premium on top of that, what the market might pay over the asset value, that premium alone would be $33 billion. And this is where it gets really, really powerful for the bulls. That $33 billion premium, that chunk of cash alone, would be enough to cover the company's current debt and all its payouts for 40 years. 40! The whole point is that the company's value could swell to a point where its financial obligations just become, tiny in comparison. And that powerful math leads right into this quote, which just sums up the whole mindset, really. For supporters, the conclusion is obvious. They argue that if you believe in Bitcoin's potential growth and you can do the math, then the bull case for MicroStrategy is the only position that makes any sense. But here's the thing. For Michael Saylor, this isn't just about making a ton of money or building a valuable company. The bull case goes way, way bigger into this grand, world-changing vision. The ultimate goal here is nothing less than to fix the money. Saylor, he actually lays out this really clear 3-step process. Step 1, build a massive foundation of digital capital. That's the Bitcoin they're buying up right now. Step 2, use that capital as a base to create a layer of digital credit. And then Step 3, partner with the big banks and financial institutions to create the final product, digital money. So what is this digital money? Well, Saylor calls it the perfect product. Just imagine a bank account where your principal is totally stable. What you put in, you can always take out, but it pays you a yield of, say, 7 or 8%. That is way more you'd get from super safe investments like government bonds. And he argues that this is a product that literally every single person on Earth would want. This quote from Saylor himself, man, it just puts everything into perspective. He's not playing a business game anymore. For him, the mission is to solve a fundamental problem with the entire global financial system. And in his mind, there is no plan B. There is no second best. Okay, our final section. So when you boil everything down, the passion, the math, this huge vision, it all comes down to one really simple and really high stakes proposition. This quote says it all. The fates of Bitcoin and MicroStrategy are just locked together. And the supporters, they don't shy away from that at all. It's a binary outcome. If Bitcoin succeeds on the massive scale they imagine, MicroStrategy could become one of the most valuable companies in the world. But if Bitcoin fails, the company goes down with it. There's really no middle ground. And that leaves us with the big question, right? Is this all-in strategy the start of a whole new investment revolution that's going to redefine corporate finance? Or is it just one of the biggest, most incredible gambles in corporate history? The bulls have placed their bet. And now we all get to watch and see what happens.